Hey guys, it's Steve.
Quentin.
We're here at WoodGrain Brewing and we're going to answer a few questions. We've had a lot of our biggest fans out there ask us their most pressing and interesting questions, and we're just going to answer about 8 to 10 of them today. Coming up down the road, we'll answer even more. So if you watch the video today and you come up with something new that you want to ask us, feel free to shoot us a line on social media or give us an email, and yeah, we'll take it from there.
Yeah, here we go.
What's the first one you want to answer?
Oh man, I didn't see what you marked off. How about Robbie Tryon? When are you going to make English breakfast again? I think everyone wants to know, Steve.
The second we get to it. So English breakfast is a second runnings beer that we have to make Ebony Imperial Stout to make English breakfast. So that means we need to have 2 fermenters open and probably a really long day. We are going to be making some stouts coming up. Jason's got some stouts he's releasing coming soon, so we might wait a little bit before we bring that beer back again, but hopefully 2021. I mean, things are going great so far this year, so maybe by the end of the year we'll have English breakfast out and ready to go. I'm going to answer one from Randall Blake. WoodGrain IPA is my favorite beer of all beers anywhere. What IPAs from other locals inspired you to concoct and perfect such deliciousness? Well, that's very nice of you, Randy. I will say that Odell IPA is definitely an inspiration for me. I think a lot of people around here could agree. I don't know, like Lagunitas IPA, Stone IPA, just kind of that classic West Coast IPA. Something we were trying to do here, but use maybe hops that are grown more locally. So we use local Centennial, local Michigan Copper from Hertz to Hops, and try to do as many things as we can in that beer to showcase our local ingredients.
Very good. Great answer, Steve.
Thanks.
Let's see what the next question we can move on to. Marty Lund, will there be a homebrew competition this year? Great question, Marty. That's still up in the air, with COVID still kind of a thing, and not really sure where people are at with homebrewing right now. I think we're going to kind of table that and talk about it, and we'll get to you as soon as we can with a for sure answer.
Sounds good.
That's all I got.
I'm going to take one from an old high school friend of mine, Lindsay Hayes. She's asking, what is your naming process for each brew? Really, it's just kind of something that comes to mind. So if I'm watching TV or I don't read books, but if I happen to read something somewhere, just out and about a billboard or just anywhere where something funny pops into my mind, I'll jot it down on my phone, and I've got a running list of just different weird things that came to mind, whether I was sitting at a bar listening to people talk. It's kind of like that overheard Twitter page that some people do. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I'm a Seinfeld fan, so we have a couple Seinfeld references in a couple of our beers. And one of them would be unforeseen incident. So a lot of popular line in the show, barring some unforeseen incident. And I just thought it was funny for a sour beer because sometimes you don't really know what direction they're going to take.
Sure.
So it's just been fun and try to keep it unique. And the hardest part is just coming up with a name that hasn't been used already. So we use Untapped generally to just do a search and see if there's a big brewery that has the name, if it's trademarked, then we stay away from it. You want to take another one, or you want me to go again?
Let's see. What's another question here?
D-Rack?
Yeah, let's go with D-Rack. What are the biggest challenges you face right now, pandemic or otherwise? It's probably something we can both answer.
Yeah.
So I think, from my perspective, sales, keeping the tap room busy, trying to push new things all the time, keeping people interested, maybe talking with Steve on what's going to be released coming up. That's kind of tough to come up with. Events, especially events, yeah, with trying to get people together, not too many people, but yeah. Steve?
I'd say one of the challenges we face is just space, tank space, especially when things slow down here in January, February. I kind of get in a pattern over the summer just to keep brewing like crazy. And then when it comes to winter, we kind of get backed up a little bit. So just figuring out space, where to store it. Sometimes we run low on kegs. We have to wait till we get some kegs, and that backs us up back in the brew house. I'd say that, and one of the challenges we have faced is finding cans. So it looks to be that they're starting to come available, so we don't foresee any can shortages for our purposes in the near future. And then like Quentin said, just getting people in the door. how do we, whether that's for off sale or if they want to have a beer here and then take a couple cans to go, whatever people want to do, we try to facilitate any and everything that they're comfortable with doing. I'm going to answer a question from Brewdoc75. He's asking, where do you think the craft beer pendulum is going to swing next? Bolder, crazier, back to classic styles, somewhere else? I got a couple guesses, and the main answer is I have no idea. I think we're seeing an upswing in lagers. It's certainly one of my favorite styles lately to make. I think we're going to see session beers continue to grow as well. I know there's a push for NA beers. I think you guys down the road are looking at doing something with that. I don't know about the seltzer thing, if that's going to continue to push forward. I have a feeling that we're going to see the seltzer category, and then we'll see a really low alcohol, 3.5%, 4%, low calorie beer. That's something that I wouldn't mind trying to make this year as well, something around that 4% mark and still have good flavor. I feel like barrel-aged stouts and all that stuff I don't know that they're fading, but I don't drink them near as much as I used to. I can only handle about 2 ounces and then I'm done.
Yeah.
With each one. They're just too thick and too filling. I prefer to sit and have a nice lager, 4.5% lager, 5% lager, have a couple beers and still be able to function. So yeah, we'll see where it goes. IPAs I think are still going to be the biggest category in craft beer going forward. Yeah, I don't know if you want to take one. I can take the last one too.
Richard Drade, let's answer one of his questions.
All right.
What style are you looking forward to trying in 2021? Just to kind of take off what Steve was saying, I think the trend's going to be low ABV to NA. I'm looking forward to trying to see what flavors people can get out of a beer with brewing them differently like that, sessionable or non-alcoholic even. Just it's trying to find fun to try new things and yeah.
Yeah, I know we've talked about it a lot. Jason's got a beer he wants to brew, like a domestic lager type beer, so we're going to be doing that this year. And then I really want to make a really low cal light lager, so like rice, a little bit of corn, super light, super refreshing. It is a challenge because you have to have a lot of flavor in that beer without, you can detect anything really. So it just has to be clean, crisp. That'll be a challenge and kind of looking forward to it. So yeah, well, thanks everybody for tuning in. And
That's all the time we got.
we'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.